Or we would if Tau was actually available today, derp. Yeah, I kind of forgot that it's only on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, so... Yeah, I tend to forget the exact dates for Tower, mostly because you can pretty much do it at any time you want. It doesn't really matter when. But there is still one thing we can't do tonight. And that would be, as weird as it sounds, talking to this guy again. Of course you do. Pay another 10,000 yen. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Yeah, this is totally gonna go well for us. Yeah, we're gonna be rich, and we already get rich quick with Tartarus anyway, so, we don't really need this. Or do we? And I actually don't know, there is really nothing much else that we can do tonight, because I'll just show this for just a proof of concept, basically. If we do go up the stairs in the bar, he is not here today. And there's nothing else to do in the bar other than that, so no point staying there. But I guess what I could do is I could just show off something. I mean, this is kind of... It does cost money, though. But I guess I can show off how this works. So, do I have a persona that I want to strengthen? Okay. If Punching Bag is on today, this is going to be really cool. Anyway, so... Finally time to show off one of the other things that you can do. Yes, we do have the punching bag. 2,000 yen, but if we play this... Make sure you have the right persona equipped for this. Persona's strength is increased. Now, like I said, if you're concerned about not breaking the game, you might want to be a little bit sparing with that, because if you do that every night, you can get strength stats way higher than the game expects of you, and you can basically one-shot bosses, and I am gonna try my hardest to not do that. We don't actually get a chance to check exactly what effect that had on Rakshasa. Yeah, Rakshasa. The SH is the second syllable, not the third. It's gonna take me a while to get used to that, but... yeah. Now, today, we have something very special to do. Although there are 7 days until the next full moon. But... Hey, Chihiro. Yeah, sure. That sounds important. I think you realize where this is going. In fact, I've been quite excited to get to this day because I can finally talk about this mechanic in full detail now. Oh, and Kenji is available, but yeah, we don't care. Let me just check Rakshasa now. 24 strength. That's quite a big increase, actually. So, it's very good, but just warning you that it can get pretty broken if you overuse it. So I'm gonna just try not to do that when I can. I wonder if you're saying anything different. Yeah, I'm still talking about that revenge site. Really hope people would stop using that, but doesn't seem like they will anytime soon. But now, it's finally time to talk to Chihiro. And even though we have Principality, we actually don't need it anymore. This time, she's finally making good on that offer. And yeah, they actually have a unique environment for it. She finally bought that. I don't read good manga. Yeah. So, weirdly enough, your responses don't actually matter this time. But, I'm gonna pick the one that sounds better. So, we get this item called manga. Gary's just like, well, I'm gonna be leaving, I got some other waifus to see. Or... Gary's who's like, I'm listening. Well, that's really not good. I mean, come to the time when we've heard about people fainting and couples and yeah, it doesn't sound like a good time to be out alone. Unfortunately, Gary Stu is gonna use that as an opportunity for yeah. Well, actually, this probably means for what she was worried about, not what Gary Stu thinks this means, but yeah. I like to think that Gary Stu has a certain thought in mind when he thinks of this, but anyway. 30 minutes. Okay then. Huh. What can Chihiro do with Gary Stu in 30 minutes? Gary Stu, stop getting ideas, please. Oh yeah, no, he's not selfish at all. You totally haven't misread him completely this whole time. Ooh, unfortunately, that's not gonna happen in this game. This is why I hate the protagonist on a Max Social Links run. And with that... This seems familiar, but the music is new. Melchizedek, the ultimate persona of the Justice Arcana. Yes, we have maxed the Justice social link. With this link is now permanently at rank 10. Nothing we do can change that. We are done with this link, nothing can ever break it. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to kind of kill the mood here. What that means is, the real reason why we rushed this link was to get it maxed, so that Chihiro wouldn't care about us cheating on her. Yeah. To Gary Stu, forging a special bond that cannot be broken is an excuse to cheat on them as much as you want and get away with it. Gary Stu, you jerk. But maxing a social link also unlocks the ultimate persona of that arcana. Now it can create Melchizedek, the Hand of Justice! The ultimate form of the Justice Arcana has been realized. As these ultimate personas are pretty much the main thing we're working towards in this playthrough, I thought that I'd give each one of them special attention. As for who Melchizedek actually is, sources do vary here. The Persona series depicts him as an angel of Gnosticism who rules over justice and peace. The name Melchizedek also shows up in the Old Testament, the New Testament, as well as Jewish tradition. In the Old Testament, he's listed as both a king and a high priest in the time of Abraham. Some accounts of the New Testament even link Melchizedek as another incarnation of Jesus himself. In the Torah, Melchizedek is the first person listed as having the title of Kohen. It should be noted that Melchizedek actually had his skill set changed a lot from vanilla Persona 3 to FES. Originally, he learned a lot more Hammer skills, and his inheritance type was light. In FES though, he's changed to be more specialised in strike element physical attacks, and his inheritance type has changed to match. He also gained a resistance to strike that he didn't have before. I'm not entirely sure why this change happened. Maybe they felt that strike attacks were a bit more reliable than hammer skills, or they felt that being of the Justice Arcana, the components needed to fuse him would probably let him inherit a lot of light skills anyway, so they felt that him getting them would be a bit redundant. Regardless, Melchizedek is a very powerful physical attacker in this version. As you can see, he learns some very strong strike attacks, especially God's Hand, the severe type of that one, the most powerful strike skill in the game. He also has Oro Mataru Kaja. That is an excellent skill. It starts your entire party with an attack buff if he's equipped at the start of battle. Very, very good skill, I can't stress that enough. And also Media Rahan, so you get a full heal on top of being an offensive powerhouse. For support moves, he learns Fist Master, which boosts the power of fist weapons, which, personally, they're some of my favourite weapons to use on the protagonist, so I definitely like having that skill. And later on, he learns Repel Dark. This is a common theme with ultimate personas in this game. They appear to have weaknesses at first glance, but they will eventually learn skills that make them completely immune to those weaknesses. So in this case, his one weakness to Dark is completely covered by Repel Dark, which he gets later, meaning that he'll repel both forms of instant death right back at the enemy, which is pretty awesome to have. Speaking of instant death, Melchizedek, like a lot of Ultimate Personas, has a unique heart item. This will be given to you once he learns his final skill. In this case, it's the Radiant Halo, which nullifies light attacks to whoever it's equipped to. Nullifying a form of instant death is definitely not a bad effect to have, so a pretty decent heart item. All in all, as far as Ultimate Personas go, Melchizedek is far from the best, but he is still quite decent. Unfortunately, he is level 59, so we won't be able to fuse him for quite a while, but at least we have something to look forward to. Speaking of fusion, I think I should probably mention, when I first found out about these Ultimate Personas, I was wondering how you actually go about fusing them, because the game never really gives you much of an explanation how. The truth is, it's because it doesn't really need to. Unless I tell you otherwise, every Ultimate Persona in this game is made the exact same way you'd make a normal Persona of that Arcana. So, simply try and fuse a Justice Persona, and if the average level of the components is 59 or above, you'll end up with Melchizedek, it's as simple as that. However, he won't actually show up as a fusion result unless you've completed the Justice Social Link. That's pretty much how they work. Like I alluded to though, there are some Ultimate Personas that are fused a little bit differently. I'll mention those when we get to them. But, well, let's just say that that's not the only reward Gary Stu is looking for here. Gary Stu scores again.
Sup, dude?
Okay, so I will just say, I apologize in advance, well not in advance, I apologize in post for kind of killing the mood there. That is normally a very sweet scene if you're considering that social link purely in isolation, and Chihiro's romance is actually one of the more popular ones in the game, and I do agree with that notion a lot, I really do like it. It's just that on a max social links run, you're going to be using that unbreakable bond as an excuse to cheat on her, and I just have to comment on that. It's just, I can't really let that slide. So yeah. So sorry if you felt like I ruined that moment, but in isolation, I really do like that. Yes, for Gary Stu, there's nothing but sun. Okay, nothing but apathy syndrome. Interesting. I guess so, but at the moment I'd say we're actually kind of prepared. I'm actually not too worried about the next full moon, though I say that, I really hope I don't jinx it by saying that. Oh, and, still have the same dialogue there. Pretty much. I will say, though, that I do know that it's a bit premature to be discussing this, but Oberon might be useful. Personas that resist or null electricity are going to be useful for the upcoming full moon boss. Just saying. So, if you have one of those, you should mostly be set. And with a max social link under our belt, it's actually kind of weird to do what we're going to do tonight now that we've done that, but you'll see what I'm talking about in a moment. But we have something to do tonight. Actually, if we check our items now, having completed the Justice social link, we'll have a new key item. Yeah, so the manga here by Chihiro's favorite artist. This is actually what enables us to fuse the ultimate persona of that arcana. We'll be getting one of these for every social link that we max out in the game. The thing about these items is they actually transfer over to a New Game Plus. So, although the thing is, the items do transfer over, so your ability to create the ultimate personas does, the social links themselves do not. But again, that doesn't really matter when you already have the ability to create the ultimate persona. Except there is a reward for maxing all of them, and again, you need to do that all of them in one playthrough in order to get that. The items won't count, you actually have to max the links. But what I was saying was that your level, though, you still won't be able to summon the personas without being at the right level, so that's the thing. Unless they've already been registered in the compendium, but I'll probably get to discussing New Game Plus much, much later. For now, we have this guy to talk to. Of course you did. Of course you did. Yeah, trying to spin it to make it look even better, yeah. 10,000 more yen, a total of 40,000 yen. You may as well put a big flashing sign saying, "Not a scam!" But let's do it. Don't worry, this is the last time we have to pay him. Well, yeah, but we went with it anyway because we had to. And this music again. Yeah, he does certainly look familiar. Yeah, as if you couldn't tell before, this is Tanaka from the home shopping channel that we've been using for the whole game. President and Executive Producer Tanaka. Yeah, because that's totally worth 40,000 yen. You do realize we can hear you, right? Okay then. Yeah, whether or not that's a good thing, well, yeah, but we've become acquainted with a new person, and that means, yep, the home shopping channel guy is in fact a social link, and guess what arcana he is? Yes, the resident corrupt corporate executive is our representative for the Devil Arcana, which I think is just genius. Ironic that right after we max the Justice Arcana, we begin on its exact opposite. Like Tower, Devil is one of the traditionally bad Tarot Arcana, and fittingly, it's the second of the two nighttime social links in this game. The Devil Arcana represents being seduced by or corrupted by worldly desires and temptation. This is going to almost a bit of Persona 5 territory here, but the 7 deadly sins do play a role in its symbolism, often greed or lust in this case. It can also represent selfishness in general, as individuals associated with this arcana tend to do whatever they want without any regard for how their actions affect others. Though another meaning of it, and possibly a less standard one, is just a single-minded desire or obsession. And that explains why a lot of individuals who represent the Devil Arcana in the Persona series are very dedicated to their work. Although unlike the Tower, the Devil Arcana does at least tend to have a positive meaning if it's reversed, representing either a freedom from corruption or desire, or in some cases, even a healthy relationship. Personas of this arcana tend to be pretty much exactly what it says on the tin. Either they're actual demons or devils, or are just general evil spirits from various mythologies. A common theme with the personas that fall into this arcana is they like to, for lack of a better word, do bad stuff to humans. Whether it's actually eating people like Vetala, or, well, what Incubus and Succubus do. Gameplay-wise, in keeping with the theme of corruption and seduction, they tend to specialise in status ailments, though being devils, they also often use Mudor skills. And if they use any other elements, it's often fire, but there are some that use ice attacks. On the social links front, the Devil Arcana is represented by President Tanaka, the greedy president of a TV company, and the one who runs Tanaka's Amazing Commodities, which we've been buying things from over the course of the game. Yeah, never thought that he'd actually be a social link, but he is. Now, the Devil's social link is actually very, very unique for the purposes of this game. You might have remembered that very, very early in the playthrough I mentioned that we never need a matching persona for the Devil Arcana. Some of you assume this was because Devil was a plot social link. It actually isn't, but it may as well be one. Even though the social link works like a normal one, where you meet him on the days he's available, and you get the conversations, there are technically points involved in them, but, to quote Whose Line Is It Anyway, the points don't matter. The Devil's social link is guaranteed to rank up every time you talk to him. No points necessary, no matching persona required. If you talk to Tanaka on a Tuesday or a Saturday, you are always guaranteed a rank up. Remember how I said in the Tower Arcana that the other nighttime social link is pretty much a complete freebie? This is why. As long as you take some time during your weeks to see Tanaka, you're almost guaranteed to max this link out. It's one of the easier ones to do in the entire game. So, I definitely recommend going for this one, even in a non-max social links run, simply for how convenient and easy to do it is. I'm honestly not really sure why they designed it this way. Maybe it's because you have to sink 40,000 yen into it just to begin the link. I guess they thought, well, if the player had to pay that much, we may as well make the social link easier on them. But anyway, we've started this now, and as long as we see him at least once a week, we've basically got this one in the bag. So he hangs around on Tuesdays and Saturdays, and we're pretty much going to try and talk to him at least once a week from now on. And I don't believe we need to... Oh, wow, this is the first time we're seeing you in your casual clothes. But definitely not seeing you this weekend, I know that for a fact. And we have Kaz, okay. I don't think we're seeing anyone in particular this weekend, though. In fact, though, let me just quickly go and check. Okay, we are. We're just not getting the call until later. And it's not Kaz. So let's just go ahead and study. Oh, okay, the dark hour already. Got a new event scene then, pretty much. Exactly a week until the operation. What horrible things are going on? Oh! Hi! It's been a long time since we've seen you.
Can you guess what I'm going to tell you?
I can tell it's something very, very creepy, and get out of this room now, please.
You're used to it by now, huh?
It's something to do with another ordeal, right?
The next full moon will be in 1 week.
But by now, Feros, you've kind of been replaced. We already know what happens every full moon.
Are you prepared? Be careful, okay? I'll come again.
Of course you will. Unfortunately, we didn't even get a Death Arcana rank up out of that, so... yeah, you came, creeped us out, and we didn't even get anything out of it. Oh, and a pinch and a punch for the first in the month, I guess. Except doing that to Mitsuru would probably result in severe bodily harm. You asked that previously. July 7th at midnight. Why did I try? I almost said January. Yes, of course. We already know. We've heard information around the school. Couples are going missing, being found unconscious, and there's also that revenge site rumor going around. So I get the feeling this is going to be a pretty eventful full moon. So at school today, we'll actually be seeing someone that we actually haven't seen for a little while. It's time to talk to Bebe. And yes, we have a new Temperance Arcana persona, but still, we have one nonetheless. With Mithra in tow, let's go for this social link. Last time things weren't looking so good, but let's see how things go here. Well, maybe we should get Fuka to deal with that. Seeing as that was not an option though, maybe we should just take a break. Yeah, that's certainly an image, but I don't know if people really do that these days. You might want to ask our history teacher, though. He seems pretty obsessed with that kind of thing. So from becoming a samurai to going to the sweet shop. And I don't think we ever get to see the inside of the sweet shop. I'm sure we've had that phrase already. Well, Yeah, eating dirt hopefully won't come to that, but it would be pretty great if you stayed. Jitsuara as the truth is. We better make sure this plan is good, because if the second half of it fails, we're in trouble. But that pushes Temperance past the halfway point. We're at rank 6 now. And another fairly short social link, but a pretty nice one.
Where have you been?
And finally, in the evening, we'll be able to do something that isn't related to one of the nighttime social links. Star Festival Special Bout. And this is kind of funny as well, because Akihiko represents the Star Arcana in Persona 3 Portable for the female protagonist, even though that's not his actual Arcana. They had to kind of take a bit of liberties with some of them there. Although I'm not sure it's really going to be Star Festival Special Bout. It's gonna be a something else special bout that, yeah. No, her sword skills are pretty good so far. Anything that Fuka's saying? Yeah. Gary Stu should be very, very worried. Yeah, you're saying the same thing. What's on the news? The Shadow's insidious new plan. Preventing people from using umbrellas. Well, you know what? It's probably a good thing there's a massive drought this year and there isn't many rainy days, because rainy days in Persona 4 are... yeah, everyone tends to hate those. They restrict most social links and they make very annoying enemies show up in dungeons. But anyway, enough about that. We've made some pretty good progress, so I should go ahead and save here.